Since arriving prior to the 2010 season, he's been without question one of the best players on the Arizona Cardinals. Big-time plays, big-time hits, big-time performer, the Cardinals' Kerry Rhodes. With us here tonight in studio. There he is, Kerry. A pretty good introduction.
Hello.
Right.
I am here.
You know, we'll talk some Cardinals in a second, but nobody has a better offseason in the NFL than you do. What's been going on? Maybe hanging out with Channing Tatum? Michael Phelps, Holly Berry. What do you got going so far?
Out of all those you named, Holly Berry was the best one. I mean, the other guys are just friends, but yeah, Holly will be a nice off season. No, but it's been great, man. Just having time, relaxing to myself, kick back, and get away from the season that we just had, which was tough. So just to get away has been great so far.
You got any travel plans coming up? Yeah,
I just got I've taken 2 already. I went to the Dominican for a little while, and I went to the Bahamas for a little while, and that's why I was with Michael, what you alluded to earlier,
yes,
Michael. So just kicked it back a little bit, and now I'm just relaxing here a little bit.
Well, Kerry, obviously some Cardinal news since you guys dispersed. Bruce Arians, the new head football coach, taking over for Ken Wisenhunt. Let me ask you, what have you heard about Bruce Arians as a head coach from any of your NFL peers? Have you heard much at all?
Well, you know what? I haven't heard much at all. I mean, I'm just getting back into the fray. I mean, I've been gone, and when I'm leave, I tend to cut my phone off and not listen to anything. So got back and heard the news, and I've heard good things about Bruce, and haven't really talked to him yet, but I've heard good things, all good things so far.
Kerry, you brought up a good point. The public has a perception that maybe NFL players are kind of in the loop and they kind of know what's going on. When you guys go through something like this, are you finding out, like the rest of us, who's a candidate, who's going to be hired, who ultimately gets hired?
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, with so much social media and other outlets finding out stuff before you do as a player, you just kind of tend to sit back and just try to wait to hear it out, because you hear so many different things and so many different people have the right answer and know what's going on. So for us, we just sit back and we take it in just like the normal person.
Hey, Todd Bowles, your new defensive coordinator. We were talking before the show here tonight. You don't actually know a whole lot about him.
No, don't know a lot at all.
Well, okay, let me take that the other way of the question then. When you don't know a lot about a guy, how does that affect your offseason? What do you need to do maybe this offseason as compared to knowing the system going into camp?
Well, it's always tough when you go through changes. You have to, especially for a defense, the way we played last year as a defensive unit. I think we all started to learn what was going on. We were on the same page, and to break that up a little bit is tough. I mean, you have guys that have to learn the system again, and to even know what system we're going to be in. We don't know if it's going to be a 3-4, 4-3, or whatever, from what I've been hearing. So you just have to come back and be prepared and ready to go, be a professional.
Does a 4-3-3-4, how does that impact the safety position?
Doesn't impact us that much.
That's what I thought.
It's more for those guys up front and on that second level.
The departure of Ray Horton, I want to ask you about that. Your thoughts, a player's perspective on losing a guy that, it appeared to us was doing a pretty good job with that defense.
Yeah, losing Ray is tough. I mean, to be honest, he was my right-hand man. I mean, I went to him for a lot. I love him. I mean, he's a guy that got the best out of his players and got us to play well, even though we were struggling down the stretch as a team. And as an offense, they had their troubles. But for us, we tried to come out and perform every week. And he did a good job of getting us ready to go. So he's somebody that's going to be missed. And like I said, he's going to be a head coach somewhere, and he's going to have that chance. So,
hey, Kerry, you guys as a defense all said the right things going down the stretch. But let me just ask you now that we're a few weeks away from it, looking back, is it fair to say, at least to some degree, that the offensive struggles by season's end took its toll on the disposition of the defense?
No, it didn't take its toll on us, because for us, we just had to come out and perform for ourselves as a unit. I mean, we played for the team, which is the ultimate goal to do and come out and do it and to come at it that way. But for us, we just wanted to come out and stay solid on our end. I mean, we wanted to be where there could not be any fingers pointed or any blame put on us. So we just try to come out and be consistent and be professional about it the whole time.
Have you thought about maybe life without Adrian Wilson? Obviously, there's some uncertainty there. And you guys, I mean, best safety tandem in the league. Many have thought over the past couple of years.
Yeah, it's going to be tough, man. This league is tough. There's always changes. And, I mean, just like you saw the coaches being changed around a little bit, same can happen for the players. And for him, a guy like Adrian, that's a very prideful guy and been a very good teammate of mine since I've been here. It'll be tough, but, I mean, for me, I can't really comment on it, but I know he'll be ready to go and have a chance to do something if he's here or if he's not here.
And what about you? How's that contract extension coming along? I will put you on the spot. I didn't think I was going to ask you that. One, huh? No, but people want you back. Is there any? I know you're not going to give me the details, but is there anything to kind of add to report at this point?
I mean, it's nothing to report right now.
Okay.
Like I said, right now I'm just
Nothing to report like you're a
like
reporter.
I'm part of this process. But no, it's just one of those things where we're sitting back and seeing what's going on. We just got a couple of big hires that just happened as far as our staff goes, and GM got a new GM, so he's got a lot of things to mull around and worry about besides just my thing. So we'll see what's going on.
Kerry, I got one more tough question for you. The Darnell Dockett incident at the end of the season. We're not going to revisit that. Obviously, what happened at the Jets game. We don't need to revisit what happened or why it happened. But here's the way I want to ask you this question. Is there any amount of healing that needs to be done between you and Darnell in the offseason and training camp? Or it is what it is, and that's that, and you don't have to be best friends on the field to be successful?
Yeah, you don't have to get along with everybody on the team. I mean, that's just part of the process. I mean, it's 61 players on the team, and everybody has different personalities, and people get together and get along in different ways, in different aspects. So, I mean, if I'm with him and we're together, we'll be together and be fine. I mean, I haven't really even revisited that situation. So for me, it's water under the bridge, and I'm just I'm a professional. I get the job done, so that's what I'm about.
So business as usual, come mini camps and OTAs and training camp.
Yeah, no question.
Before we take a break, there weren't many highlights this season, but I got to ask you about that game against the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, you've made big plays, you've picked off passes, you've scored touchdowns, but I don't think I've ever seen you be as physical in a single game. That was Ronnie Lott-esque. Yeah. Looking back right now, is that one of the most proud games you've had as an individual?
You know what? It's up there, and just for the reason you stated, just the extra physical play. I mean, it was a couple plays in that game where on the hit I hit Selleck in the flat. I probably could have picked the ball off, but I just let it go just to put my imprint on the game that way. And it was a very conscious effort that game as far as being physical because Adrian was out and I just wanted to show everybody that wouldn't be a problem. So, well,
one of the reasons why I really took enjoyment in watching that game is, Kerry, obviously when you left the Jets, there were innuendos and rumors and some not nice things said about your toughness as a football player, and I thought you kind of expunged a lot of doubts in that one single football game. That's why I thought maybe that was one of maybe your more prouder moments on the football field.
Yeah, it was up there. Like I said, I mean, it was a chance for us to come out and be physical, and that was part of our defense last year. We wanted to adopt the be physical at all costs, and whoever's in the way, just give them a little pat and let them know you're there.
Well, yeah, you did. I think it like 3 times. We saw the video right there. We're visiting with Cardinal safety Kerry Rhodes. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk some Super Bowl, get Kerry's keys to the game, plus what's new with the Rhodes Foundation, and also one of my favorite topics with Kerry Rhodes, basketball.
Yes, sir.
If you've never seen Kerry Rhodes play hoops, stick around. You're in for a treat. Keep it here. Well, we're back on the sports show. A lot of gold medals those two guys combined for. That's Kerry Rhodes and Michael Phelps. Kerry, you tweeted this out the other day. You mentioned earlier in that last segment this was down in the Bahamas.
In the Bahamas, yeah.
Did you just kind of randomly meet Michael Phelps there? What happened there?
No, I met him before, but we randomly bumped into each other then. It was just by the pool hanging out. I just saw a whole bunch of women flocking to some guy, and I was like, who is that? And then we bumped into each other and said, what's up? So,
did you get one up by Michael Phelps in that department?
In that department? Nah. He got the medals, but I was right there neck and neck with that one.
Okay. Hey, Kerry, speaking of Twitter, you were, when you arrived here in 2010, you were real active on Twitter and social media.
Yep.
I think you had close to 500,000 followers.
Yep.
And then you took a self-imposed hiatus. You've kind of resurfaced lately and kind of building your portfolio back up, your followers back up, as they call. Why did you take that hiatus?
Well, it was needed for me at the time. I was going through a tough time. Had my first big injury to where I couldn't perform and actually be on the field physically. So that kind of took a toll on me, not being able to help my guys out and be a part of that. And just had some shakeups with my inside stuff with my team that I was trying to get fixed together. So just wanted to get away from it, refocus, regroup, and come back stronger than ever.
Did you feel there were some kind of negative aspects that were kind of making you be somebody that you didn't want to be? Was there anything like that, or was it just kind of an internal cleanse for you?
It was just internal cleansing for me. Okay. I mean, there's always going to be negative things said about anybody. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter how great you are. It's going to be that type of stuff going on. So it wasn't that aspect of it. It was just more of, like you said, an internal cleansing and just a refocusing thing for me. Speaking
of social media, while I got you here, any thoughts on the Manti Te'o incident? Because that's something that, football players are targets by many different people, by con men, by con women. Yeah. And Manti is a young player that, he may have made some mistakes in terms of what he was saying to the media back last football season, but it seems like he was definitely, conned, duped.
Oh, there's no question. I mean, it's one of those things that can happen all the time too, and it's pretty unfortunate for a young guy like that to fall victim to it so early. But it's also a good thing because now he'll come into this league knowing the pitfalls and knowing the dangers that are out there, and he'll be able to, kind of put those things to the side and keep himself close and keep a tight circle moving forward and not let that thing happen again.
Kerry, when you guys go through your rookie symposium, when you were coming out of Louisville, I'm sure, there was no social media.
No.
I mean, not that you're only 30, but it's
I'm old, Zach. I'm old.
No, but do you think now, knowing what we know about social media, should there be a social media component to the rookie symposium?
No question. It has to be. I mean, it's just so many people out there lurking on the net and social media stuff that you don't know who it is. And the scary thing about that is it can be a pretty picture that's sitting up there, and it can be some big fat guy at home watching it. So I mean, just monitoring that situation. So it's tough, man.
All right, man. Super Bowl. All right, we got the Ravens, the 49ers. Obviously, you played the 49ers a couple of times. Yeah. Even got a good look at Colin Kaepernick. What are your thoughts when you look at this game from the outside?
It's going to be a good game. I think Baltimore has a lot of not even football-related stuff going on that's helping them win right now. That's driving them to win. I mean, they got the emotional stuff with Ray Lewis going on. You have the emergence of Flacco. I mean, in this postseason, he's been playing lights out. I mean, 8 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. So he's playing well, and then just a lot of stories going on. They also got a story with O.J. Brigance that's a lot of people that don't know about. He was an ex-football player for those guys, special teamer, and he's going through a devastating disease right now, to where he's limited to a wheelchair, and he's been an inspiration too. So a lot of people don't know that one, and they just have all that stuff working for them. But I think when it all comes down to it, San Fran's the better team, and they have more.
Think so?
They have more athletes and with the emergence of Colin Kaepernick playing so well, it's going to be tough for him.
You know what? And a lot of people think that obviously they're favored in Las Vegas, but at the same time, I mean, the Ravens went to Denver and beat Peyton Manning, and they went to Foxborough and beat Tom Brady. Yet they're the underdogs. Yeah. They would appear to.
No, I think that suits them right.
Okay.
But I also think that they're going to use that for their advantage as well. That's why it's going to be closer than a lot of people do think it will be.
Kerry, when you face a guy like Kaepernick, running that spread offense, the read option or zone read, whatever you want to call it, how does that change game preparation for a defense? How does it change X's and O's?
It's just an added piece of thing you got to work on during the week, and it's similar to the Wildcat when they got his first start.
Okay.
I mean, it's just something that drives coaches crazy because it's not the normal game plan. It's just something that you have to deal with extra. I mean, and coaches don't mind doing extra, but it's just a pain. It's a pain to have to deviate from what you're used to and doing different things like that.
Ed Reed calls you and says, Kerry, what do I do with Kaepernick? What do you tell him?
Well, with him, you just have to you got to stay back, though. I mean, everybody want to come up and try to stop him in the run.
Okay.
But he's also adept at beating you in the air. I mean, the guy can throw the ball 1,000 miles per hour, so he can get the ball down the field and make plays, and I think that's what separates him from a lot of the running quarterbacks now.
And your prediction is?
My prediction is, even though I hate to say it right now, because they're NFC West foe opponent, I just see San Fran winning it, and it's going to hurt me when they win it. I'll cry.
Okay.
But I'll celebrate because I picked it right.
Okay. Kerry, you've always been heavily involved in the community, even when you're playing for the Jets. Yeah. Clearly, you've done that here. The Rhodes Foundation is something. You just don't tack your name on it and get a tax break. I mean, you are really involved with this thing.
No question.
What is happening right now? What's coming up? What do you got going?
First of all, let me thank you for always being a supporter.
Oh, you're welcome.
You always come out and help me out with it, so I appreciate
you're welcome.
That. But right now we're kicking it back off. I had a couple of changes, like I said, inside my camp. So we got my new PR company out in LA, Eileen Koch out there in LA that's helping with everything, and we're getting it going. We have a big foundation black tie dinner coming up in May in New York, and then we're also going to do a couple of softball games probably here and in LA too. So we got some big things on the horizons, and trying to get these kids educated, man. Get these kids some scholarships to college and help them out, because there's never enough help that can be out there for them.
And Kerry, the money that's raised, you probably spread it out a little bit.
Yep.
But do you have one kind of a charity that you like, or that's a pet cause, if you will, that you would like to see?
No, the biggest thing for me is just the education of children. I mean, and seeing those guys reach their goals, because I mean, I've reached mine, and I always want to give other individuals a chance to reach their goals as well, and that's my biggest thing.
You brought a Thanksgiving dinner to a family in, I think, Casa Grande a couple of years ago. We went down there with you, and the woman, the mother, the matriarch of the family, one of the things she said to me about you was, I don't know if you actually even heard this, she goes, he was raised very, very well. I always thought that was a heck of a compliment, not only to you, but really to your parents.
No
yeah, I mean, they got to be pretty proud of what.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope I do them proud. That's my mission every day, to make those guys proud, no question.
What about a charity basketball game? Are you getting too old for those now?
Yeah, man, I gotta keep these knees iced up and ready to go for the season. Right now, basketball games, not too many. They're far and few in between.
You know, Kerry, you were on 2010, and I found this video, and I want to play it in case, I figured enough time has gone by that we can probably show it again. Kerry Rhodes is a fantastic basketball player. Now, I don't know where this was taken, because
This is in New Jersey. This is probably back in 08, 09. This is a couple years ago. I was very spry right here.
But but look at this. You can knock down the jumper. I mean, you can defend. You get in the passing lanes. You can distribute. You can distribute with your left hand, which not a lot of guys playing in the NBA can do.
Yeah.
But in all seriousness, how much basketball do you get to play? Because I mean, we all grew up doing it. We love it. But when you get older, it's tougher.
Not a lot. You're right. I mean, I remember when I was younger, I was playing against older guys. I would see older guys on the sideline stretching and warming up with their sweats on, getting ready to play a pickup game.
And you're like,
and I'm laughing like, look at him. Yeah, that's me now.
That's you now.
I'm that guy stretching with my sweats on and my headband and doing all kinds of stuff. So yeah,
I believe you told me, joking about being old. Actually, I think your freshman year, Denny Crum was still at Louisville.
Yeah.
Wasn't there some talk about you walking on, or did you walk on?
Yeah, I did. I practiced with the team my freshman year and played around a little bit with those guys, and was actually going to go on and play full time, but the coaching change came with Rick Pitino, and then I didn't know how he was going to feel about me, so I just kind of stuck with football.
Do you ever wonder? Obviously, you made a good choice. You're a professional football player and a Pro Bowl caliber safety, but do you ever wonder if you pursued basketball full time?
There's no question. No question. I do. I think I played the other day, recently, and a guy was like, "Yeah, you can go out and get a 10-day contract for the Suns right now." I said, "Sign me up. I'm there. I'll go out there and play." So. I still get compliments on it, so I'm still okay.
Well, yeah, a lot of NFL guys think they can play, but from what I just saw, definitely, have you ever played against Te'o?
I have played against Te'o.
Yeah. Now who's got a better game?
Yeah, he can't.
I know you do. All right, man. We appreciate it, Kerry Rhodes. Enjoy your off season. Always great to talk to you.
No
Always great when you come by and
Thanks
make time for us and keep us posted on all that good foundation stuff. We'll be there and help you out and get that exposure. All right, Kerry Rhodes is here. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk some more basketball. How about ASU knocking off UCLA by 18 on Saturday? We'll hear from the Sun Devils when we come back.